tips for a contract. I think that's actually really important.
Yeah.
Contract
I was about to say,
so
that's the thing I was...
important.
Yeah. So you
like
were...
very, like even from the beginning, even if you're charging like someone new or something, some sort of agreement, if you're charging even like $20, like those like amateur photographers do, you should have something in
a contract.
place.
So do you have a let me ask you a question, and you can just say both, which totally works. Do you think you have a contract for legal reasons, or do you have a contract for like client to business reasons to understand the agreement?
Both,
basically.
Right? So like the contract I have is pretty in depth for the most part, and I mean it definitely could be used. I mean, I've tried doing, I probably could add more to it, honestly.
Right.
But it definitely could be used in any sort of like legal reason. But I've also, it's mainly just so the client and I have like an understanding of like what's expected, that sort of thing. And I've had to refer back to the contract a couple different times, like with different clients.
That's important.
Whether it's like payment or... like what's in here actually. mainly the payment is a big thing.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Like super
I wrote my contract, which I've added a bunch to, but I sent it to you. Like I was like, Michaela, I know you got this contract, and you're like, yo, shit looks good. You know what I'm saying? That because I didn't do contracts either. And personally, it's like, yes, like legally, obviously, if shit like went there, which we had, me and Jason had a case where we almost did, and it was pretty sketch, but it's just like for me, it's like it's such a big understanding of like this is like what I'm providing you, and like you said, and that's what my biggest mistake, especially early on, is I didn't have contracts. I shot whatever, and there's been so many cases, so many different things that just like would have been such clarified in the thing, like you said you were gonna have drone footage, but you didn't say how much, and you only got like 1 or 2 angles of the building. Why didn't you get like the back where the pool is, and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my god. You know, it's like, and that's like that's an extreme example, but it's just people being like that. You have to understand, because when it's just word and word, I forget what I say sometimes. You're talking to so many different people, and someone are like, oh, can I get this? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah. But then contract, it's like, oh, this is what we agreed for right before the wedding. I can study this thing, make sure I know what we're getting, and I'm gonna reach all my things. But it's hard. You know, it's rough. It's because of all these bad experiences that you have to even add a contract. So how soon did it take you to like add a contract?
I've always
the
used
beginning.
one.
Really?
So like even if you're charging anything, whether it's like $1, $20, whatever, if you're exchanging money for your services, I feel like it is so important.
Totally agree.
I mean, I haven't really had any issues when it comes to my contract. Like, it's been like really helpful more than anything. But like specifically with this year, like I booked with that bride that canceled on me like 2 weeks before the wedding, and since it was in my contract that like since she canceled and there's a non-refundable deposit, like I got to keep her deposit. If I didn't have a contract, she could have been like, okay, well, you know, I paid you like $150 and we're not using you, like, can I have that back?
Yeah. And that's
me not having a contract in place. I would have probably felt bad. I'm like, okay, you know what, here's that $150 back. But since I have it, like with her signature that she's read over it, like a copy of the contract, I'm like, and I mean, she didn't argue with me about it or anything. She was super cool, but it's so helpful to like refer back to it.
The contract, exactly.
To people.